This is a review of the Nikon FM10, a camera model which was manufactured between 1995 and 2020, and while it says Nikon on it, was actually never manufactured by Nikon.
I'm going to go over the controls of the camera, talk a little bit about its history and my history with it. I'll show you some pictures I've taken with the camera, and then also talk about my likes and dislikes.
We're going to start off on the top plate right side where you're going to find the film advance lever, the multiple exposure lever, the frame counter window, the shutter release button, and the shutter speed dial. It's also worth noting that the shutter speed dial is where you're going to set the film speed. Not much to see on the top plate left side, just the film rewind lever, and on top the pentaprism is the hot shoe. Moving to the front plate right side, you're going to find the self-timer lever and the depth of field preview lever. And on the left side, you're going to find the lens release button and a button unique to this model, the exposure measurement button. Not much to see on the back plate, just the film cartridge confirmation window. And on the bottom plate, we see the film rewind button, the tripod socket, and the battery chamber lid. Looking in the viewfinder straight ahead, you see the focusing screen, and on the left, the three indicators for the meter. The green light lit indicates proper exposure, while the red plus indicates overexposure and the red minus underexposure.
Nikon contracted with the company Cosina to build these cameras from 1995 through, I think the production was ended in 2020. So it's not really a Nikon, but it has the Nikon FM badge on it. It's also very plasticky, like all the outer panels are plastic, and it's super lightweight. It's way lighter than even the Nikon EM, which was actually made by Nikon and had a metal structure inside. I think this one actually has a metal structure as well, but it feels ridiculously light. And another thing I kind of don't like about it is everything is plastic. The shutter speed dial is plastic, the shutter firing button, the rewind lever, the film rewind mechanism. It's just all plastic. So when I talk about other cameras being sturdy and not feeling cheap, the cheap cameras I'm talking about is this one. That's not to say it's a bad camera, but if you just pick it up, it feels like a toy. It really does. So some things that make this camera unique to all the other Nikon cameras. Number one is it's not really a Nikon, right? I mentioned it before. It's a Cosina CT1, but it says Nikon on it. The second thing is this champagne color. I think they call it champagne. It's not really silver. It's kind of an off silver. I'm colorblind, so I don't know. It just looks like it's, I don't know, some other color. I think black would have looked really nice, or just silver, but it's okay, whatever. The other thing that's very interesting about this camera and makes it unique is this second meter button. And it's actually a good thing because, like the other Nikons, they have a shutter lockout, and they only function if you pull the film advance lever out. With this one, it does the same thing. So you can't activate the meter unless you pull this guy out, and then you push the shutter button halfway down. That turns on the meter. If you have the film advance lever in against the body, there's a lockout, so you can't push it down, you can't activate the meter, but there's this second meter button. So you can be framing up your picture and you can push this and it'll activate the meter and you can meter your scene. So that's kind of nice. Another thing unique to the camera is this hand grip, which you can see. So the Nikon FA has a hand grip, which is different. This one's kind of molded into the plastic body of the camera, and then even on the back it's got sort of a molding on, so it's actually pretty pleasant to hold. Other features of the camera are the top shutter speed of 1/2000th of a second, which is nice. And like the other FM models, it is a fully mechanical shutter. So if the batteries fail, the only thing that quits working is the meter. All the shutter speeds still work. So that is a very nice feature of the camera. Another thing I really like and I appreciate about the camera is that it's a very simple camera. There's no automation, right? So you don't need any of those extra functions. Literally, you set your film speed on the shutter speed dial, and that's really what that's doing, is setting the sensitivity of the meter. And then you just, adjust your aperture and you adjust your shutter speed until the meter in the window is happy, and take your picture. I picked up this camera off Craigslist for, it was either $25 or $30, and it had the kit 35 to 70, 3.5 to 4.5 lens on it. The previous owner had taken a photography course, and that was how a lot of these cameras were sold. Because when you take a photography course, they don't want you to use a camera with any automated features. So this being a fully mechanical feature, no auto modes at all, that's the bread and butter for these. This camera and the Pentax K1000 was another one. Sears had an old TLS, but many, or pretty much any fully manual camera is perfect for photography classes. I don't know what they're doing nowadays with digital, but that's where this camera shined. And the nice thing about these cameras are they are just like most film cameras. It's ridiculously inexpensive on Craigslist or on eBay. Again, I'm thinking $15 to $50. 50 might be too much, but honestly, it takes great pictures. It's got a metal ring. It's got the Nikon F mount, so you can shoot the same Nikon glass through it. Even though it's not really a Nikon camera. It takes great pictures.
Here are just a few pictures I've taken with the camera through the years. Here are some horses and some stables nearby. Here's a bridge, and finally a leaf.
Thanks for watching my video, and if you liked it, hit the like button and think about subscribing. Also, if you have some ideas for other cameras you'd like me to review, leave some comments down below. Thanks again. Bye.